Okay, this is how to repair an old Calco outdoor spigot from either leaking from the stem or leaking from the spout here. We'll go over both problems. First thing you want to do to disassemble the valve is to put a backup wrench here while you turn counterclockwise on the bonnet part here, and that's going to loosen the whole valve assembly. Once you got the bonnet loose, then you could turn the inside portion with the handle on the outside. Now the inner portion of the valve comes spinning out. And if your problem was that it was leaking from the bottom spout here, it's probably because the gasket here is old and worn out. So you can just go to the Ace Hardware store, get some different size rubber gaskets here with the stainless steel screw. This one had an old brass or copper one that was all chewed up, so I replaced it with the stainless. So you replace that on there, and that'll stop the leaking from the actual spigot itself. But if it's leaking from the stem, when you turn on and off the water will come squirting out through here. That's a whole nother problem, which is the bonnet packing inside underneath here. It's hard to tell, but to take it apart, you take the handle off. So you unscrew the screw here, take the handle off, take the bonnet nut off. And it's hard to tell here, but that's actual packing underneath there that's probably be too old and doesn't have a good seal around the shaft anymore. So what you have to do is tear all that out, and it should end up looking like this. You can see that you can actually see the dome portion of the valve in there, and it takes a while. You got to pick at it, but yeah, that's the problem with that. If it's leaking through the shaft portion, in that case you go to Ace Hardware and get a replacement that fits in there, and you put that in there like that. Put that on the shaft itself. Then you screw the hole up. Once you tighten that up, you go ahead and screw that back in. Now you can feel the rubber seat at the bottom of the valve. And you put the bonnet valve back on. Bonnet nut. Hand tight that. And that's when you're going to use your backup wrench again and your wrench to tighten that up in order to get a nice seal on there. You might want to tighten it up a little tighter than I'm just showing right now, just so you can visually see what needs to be done. And you put the handle back on, reinstall the brass screw, and that actually should be it there. Just make sure, tighten everything back up. Like I said, you want to make sure you tighten the stainless steel screw on the rubber seat. You want to hold the backup wrench on the base of the valve while you're tightening the bonnet nut, so you don't break the mechanical connection inside the house and get water all over. And then once you do that, tighten the handle back on, put the water back on, and it shouldn't leak anymore, either from the spigot or from the shaft.